all right.
Can you make my hair look like this?
Oh, man, what you want to make your hair look like that for?
See, that's the problem with y'all today. Y'all don't know nothing.
Will you let the man tee you off? You yap worse than 6 barbers.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Your Barber podcast. We're back after a little break. This is episode number 22. You know, the Your Barber podcast is always about inspiring and relating to the everyday barber and shop owner. And, you know, sometimes the regular person too. So, you know, part of the goal of this podcast is to maybe convince someone to become a barber who's just the regular Joe grinding away at the 9 to 5, wanting to change. So I got lucky today, have on the last third of the Barber College Success podcast. You may have seen him on Instagram at J Baba, the young star, Mr. Jordan Barr, ladies and gentlemen.
My hair may spark flames. Aviator frames, bandage slamming this stage from a stretcher I waved. Even if I never had 2 arms full of Grammys or responsible.
Thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for making the time today.
Yeah, no problem, bro. I appreciate it.
How's your Sunday afternoon going?
Just chilling. I had a early appointment, little haircut this morning, but other than that, it was at the crib, so I just been chilling, playing video games, watching TV,
Okay.
taking that Sunday off, you know.
Was this like the homie, or was this like a house call rig?
It was one of my kid clients that I've been doing for a long time, and he was like, "Can you just give him a cut before we go to Dollywood?" And I was like,
Cool.
"Or he has school tomorrow, actually." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And you just bring him over at like 11. I got his haircut, so
Oh yeah,
just
man.
a quick one.
That's cool of you. Yeah, like something that was taught to me early on from my first boss. He's like, "Hey, these kids grow up one day. A lot of barbers don't value the kids, and it's just like they're gonna transform into a long-time client if you take care of them."
A lot of people don't. That's why I'll be trying to tell a lot of these barbers, like, they're like, "Man, I hate doing kids." I'm like, bro, if you hook up a kid, maybe, like, you know, it's kind of, I feel like you got to be a little bit, you got to have patience, obviously, with
Definitely.
kids. It's hard. Some people, like, some kids are really bad, and sometimes their parents don't come in and enforce, you know, you got to be sit still and all that stuff. But as long, you just got to think that's a long-term client. So, I mean, I love kids. I have very high patience, so I don't really mind, you know. I mean, they're little. We act like that when we was little too. So you gotta kind of understand. There's, you know, they're just little kids. That's all what it is.
No doubt about it. They tend to respect the barber a little more than their actual parents. In
Yeah.
most cases, but some kids are just savages. They don't give a shit, dude.
Yeah.
They'll just run all over
Some
the
of them
place.
don't. Some of them really don't.
Yeah, man, it's wild. Yeah, I played a video of on my last episode with a guest because I did a little mini episode by myself, which I normally don't do, but was out of the country for a couple weeks. So this is going to come out next week. So this will be 3 weeks with no pod, or 2.5, 3 weeks with no podcast. So yeah, well, people are starving, man. Streets are starving.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go to? Where'd you go on vacation on? Or was it a vacation, or was it just a?
So my wife, we kind of just like took advantage of, my wife had research in Colombia, like in South America. And the last leg of it, my daughter and I kind of tagged along, and we just kind of made a little trip out of it for like the last 12, 13 days. So
That's dope.
yeah, dude, we stayed at 4 different hotels. We did a lot of explorative things. We normally that's not me. My wife's got to bring it out of me.
Mm-hmm.
The whole exploration part of a vacation. I'm more of the like, can we not just like hang out by the pool for a few days, like get on the beach?
I'm the exploration dude. I like seeing sightseeing. Yeah. Like, okay. I've always wanted to go to Japan and Rome and Greece. And, I guess I got to go to Tokyo before I die, bro. It's like a must. So,
yeah, we've been actually talking about that, and then all I can think, you know, my my hermit ass is, man, that flight's gonna be nuts.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be long.
I cut somebody from Japan, and there's like, I think he said it's like a 23-hour flight. So I was like, gosh. I was like, but there's
better prepare for it.
Yeah.
Neck
whole
ache
day
for
on
a
a
week.
plane. That's tough.
Yeah, man. It was and I'm always glad we end up doing all the, exploration,
Yeah.
It's just I need the push to get there. But once I'm there, I'm like, damn, like I can't believe I'm seeing this. Like I
Yeah.
gotta show people this. So yeah, we saw a lot. It was fun. Yeah, I posted a couple videos of some highlight reels of what we did in a couple spots. But yeah, man, it was fun. So yeah, man, we're going to get into your whole story and background. But I had some time. I've been thinking a lot of plane rides, a lot of long taxi Uber rides in Colombia. So I'm like, all right, what's coming next? And this topic, man, it's something I've always been pretty firm on, and I'm not going to change about. But barbers get real weird about this. So this is my just an observation. Barber, I want to get your take on this. I'm going to rant a little bit too. So
Okay.
excuse me.
I'm
But,
intrigued. Let's go. Let's hear. I'm already here.
yeah, so it's barbers taking lunch. Do barbers not get kind of weird about this topic?
Barbers taking lunch.
How do you feel about lunch before I go?
Okay. It depends on how I'm looking for that day. So if I come in and I've got a fully booked out day, and usually I have 1
it's
hour.
all situational.
Yeah,
That's a word I'm going to use a lot.
I have a 1 hour time slot that I always keep on. Like that's supposed to be my lunch.
Yeah.
So somebody hit me up, and somebody hits me up is like, man, I really need a haircut, and if you could fit me in, that'd be great. And I'm like, all right. If they really need the haircut, then I'll take them in that hour time slot. Most of the times I do, because I really don't mind not to take a lunch. I've kind of gotten used to that. Even when I was working at Food City and other places, I never really took. I mean, I took a lunch, but I didn't really take a lunch. Like, so it's just.
Yeah, they give you like what 15 minutes at like
Yeah, like 15, 20 minutes, and I was
I'm like, man, come on.
They might as well just stay here. Like, there's no point in going. So I just, yeah, I don't mind it. I guess I don't mind not taking a lunch. I really don't. I feel like I feel like it might be different if you're not in, like, you don't know your schedule type. If you're not like maybe if you're like a barber that's doing so many walk-ins. Yeah, like, and you're probably getting overloaded. Your mind, your mental is starting to get a little. You might, you're like, all right, I need a little bit of a break. Then I feel like that's a good time to take one. But I feel like I only do like 9, 10 haircuts a day. I'm just chilling, bro. So I'm just.
Yeah.
If I can fit another one in, I'm good. I mean, I enjoy what I do. It's not like I'm, hate it or anything. So I just wait until after I get off, leave after the shop, and then go grab me some bite to eat somewhere after that.
No doubt, man. Yeah, you hit on some of the points I want to hit on. Like, yeah, it's like I don't say this as a brag or a boast or to like down anyone that thinks or does opposite, but like I just don't value it as high as most barbers. Like, you know what I mean? Some barbers, it's like non-negotiable. It's like, dude, I'm on lunch, man. Nah. He's 10 minutes early. Nah, man, I still got 10 minutes of my lunch. So
Yeah.
like I'm like, all right, dude, I'm like still chewing my food when I like stop for a second. Like when I come out, and it's like they see that shit, right?
Yeah.
They value that too. When the client sees you hustling, it's like, oh no, you can eat. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh no, dude, it's good. I'm like, no, let's go, man. I got it's good. So like, it's funny because I don't value, like, we're not Wells Fargo. Like, we don't work for Wells Fargo, man. If we don't work, we don't get paid.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even about not taking the lunch. I'll give you more context because I had a comment under like Marv's like video recently. But yeah, dude, it's just like I use this time to fast too. Because when I'm not in the shop, I'm usually stuffing my face. So I'm like, this is a time for me to kind of cleanse out, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to like block off time automatically, remove an opportunity in my situation, because it's like, that's like removing 10% of my pay. You know what I mean? Over the long run. It's like an hour a day. If you work 5 days a week, say that's 5 hours a week, dude. That you blocked off, man.
A lot of people don't think about that because when I got into the shop, I was coming in from 9 to 6, which the shop opens at 9. I'm not good at waking up very early. I've been trying to work on it better, but I started my day I start my day at 10 now and I work 10 to 6. Or most of the time I usually be there till 10 to 7. Like sometimes even
That's
8
why I
or
work
9.
10 to
So
7.
I come in at 10 instead of 9 because I was running a little bit late for my appointment. So I'm moving my time up higher. So just to even it out. Make me not feel because I hated being late.
It's just like I didn't just come off the set of Survivor. Like, like I'll be okay. Like I'll eat a breakfast. I can outlast. And if I'm busy, I'm going to keep working. You know what I mean? Like my day books up. Normally there's somewhere in your schedule you can see. It's like, this guy's a 30-minute, 45-minute haircut, but this guy takes me like 25 minutes tops. Like that's your window. And that, especially if you have a schedule. Now it's all, like I said, it's all situational. I'm going to say that a lot because some people are just walk-in only barbers. And if they're like deep into the game, they're all booked, they know they're never going to have a chance. So that's completely different. And I work 4 days a week, dude. So like I'm getting it in when I'm there. When I'm there to work.
Yeah.
So 10 to 7. And the beauty of not taking a lunch break is when it's over, it's over. I'm out. You get a call. You get that's my reward. I'm done when I'm done.
Yeah.
You get a call 10 minutes before close saying, "Hey, he just wants a lineup." No. Because tell me, Jordan, is that ever just a lineup? It never is.
Most of the time, no.
And are they 10 minutes away? No.
Taper this down a little bit right here.
Exactly.
Bro. Like I'll cut it down to a
he
workout.
said he's only 10 minutes away and he only wants a lineup. Okay.
Yeah.
That means he's 30 minutes away and it's going to be a beard lineup with the lineup. And that's a completely. So I'm like, no.
Yeah, I had a problem with that. I had a problem with saying no to that. That's the reason why I was there most of the time. For like 9 o'clock. Sometimes I'd be there from 9:30. Like when I first started in the shop, bro, I was in there till about, on average, I'd say probably till 8:30, 9 o'clock, sometimes 10 o'clock at night. And plus, I enjoyed being there. I really didn't feel like going home. I feel like I loved being at the shop. It's never really like me like trying to rush out or anything type thing. I just enjoyed it. I like being there and I like making money.
I don't mind coming in a little earlier sometimes on a whim, but like, I'm never staying later.
Yeah,
I'm never staying later.
I'd rather stay later. I'd rather stay later than come in earlier.
Yeah. Okay.
But you probably have
because you're not a morning person.
So
that makes sense.
I'd say you have a family, so you have more.
That's exactly.
Yeah, because me, I'm single. I have no kids. I mean,
if I'm not out by 7, my wife's automatically.
Yeah, calling you.
There it is. What I tell you, dude, I just brought it up. I'll be telling my client. Yesterday, we went to the Atlanta United game, the like soccer game, and they play at Mercedes-Benz. So that was my first time over there. And our house sitter stayed in town. Our house sitter helped out with the last leg of our absence, bought me tickets. And so I was like, shit, all right, I guess I'm going. So I had to meet him over there. But, right around 7 o'clock, my wife's like, "Are you done yet?" I'm like, "Babe, been getting pounded on the last 2 days." I got back at 1 a.m. on Thursday. I had to work Friday. 10 to 7, completely booked solid, never sat down. And I stay hydrated. And so let's give a little context to the people here. Let's play this Marvy Marv thing.
Barbershop.
Yo, what's good, bro? You got time to fit in a walk-in? What's going on, man? Yeah, I can fit you in today. I just gotta finish cutting him, and then I gotta cut his 2 boys. So it won't be for like another hour or so.
Dude, just say you're booked. Right?
Yeah.
Don't be nice about it. See, that one thing that bothers me about these guys at this level of stardom in the barber industry, these guys have a motive that people don't realize. People don't like understand sometimes. They're like, this guy's a barbershop owner. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, like, we're going to talk about your sweet stuff. They don't encourage barbers to, go to suites. They're more encouraged on like why that's detrimental to open up a suite. Like that's what they're talking about. Right?
Yeah.
So, let's continue this. We'll get to that. I'm all over the place today, man.
No,
Let's get it.
So, but I can fit you in. All right. You the only barber here today? Nah, it's me and one other barber, but he's on lunch right now. You think you could squeeze me in sooner? I mean, I know he's pretty much booked up for the rest of the day, and he's on his lunch right now, so... Oh, he right back there eating? I'm gonna go ask him quick. He's on his lunch right now, bro. I know. I'm just gonna ask him quick. Yo, what's good, bro? You got time to fit in a walk-in right now?
Number one, of course, this is crazy. Him coming in the back, right?
Oh,
if that happened, I'd be like, yo, you're hilarious, dude. I'd start laughing.
You cut. Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
if they come to the back.
This wouldn't happen in my shop because we have assistants that like, so we can like hide in the back when we.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is nuts, dude.
I don't know if that's like, would you take that as a sign like of, I wouldn't say disrespect.
I would.
Like disrespectful.
See, I'm not in this situation. I would try to get a little market research.
Yeah.
Like if this guy's from like Chicago out of town, I'm like, yeah, I might say no.
True.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
if it's someone who's retainable, or if it's my guy, you know what I mean? It's someone I know, then it's completely
different.
I'd probably just set everything down. And a lot of people disagree with that, but you know, I like making a little extra effort. And like I said, I'm not trying to stuff my face when I'm at work because I'm on the intermittent fasting kick.
I'm on my lunch right now, bro. I mean, you can't just cut me up real quick. Respectfully, bro, I'm on my lunch.
So my comment was I might be the only barber that doesn't value lunch as high as others. I honestly, you know, like I said, when my time in there, I'm not eating because that's all I do when I'm not in the shop. And then my whole barber career proceeds to get probed. They're like, yo, how many years you been cutting, man? How many days a week you work? Pissed off barber says, oh, we have ourselves a hustler, guys.
Oh gosh.
So I'm like, and I get his brand. I totally laughed my ass off at that. I'm like, you're goddamn right. That was my response to him. But
I don't know how I feel about him, bro. Honestly, I don't know.
I've seen him from the beginning, and it's just, you know, people get upset about what he says and stuff. It's like it's all a joke. He does this, and this is basically what Marv's doing. He's doing this to get engagement, to get people arguing in the comments.
Yeah.
So yeah, this guy, he continues to probe my career, and I'm starting to get attacked. And I'm just like, hey man, I defended myself one time, and then after that, I'm like, okay, this guy's trolling. Like,
yeah.
You can't open yourself
only so
up.
much
When they see you fighting in the quicksand, they're gonna dive on you, man.
Yeah, there's only so much. I feel like in the comments, bro. Once somebody tries, bro, everybody's gonna start trying. It's like, all right, let me just stop on my head because everybody's just gonna get in my head. I'm like, dang, bro.
And I'm still getting like random comments on it, like to this day, because that was like a week ago or so.
Yeah,
and you know, it's weird because, you know, barbers are like, some of the comments, some of the replies I'll get will be like, bro, I gotta take care of myself. And I'm like, this is the same guy that's like, hey, you want anything from Krispy Kreme when I'm gone? It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Wait.
I was like, it should be no way that it fairly affects somebody for an hour. I mean, that's just me though. I don't know.
It's maybe like 30 minutes, an hour sometimes much. I get it. It's not even about the lunch break sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about catching up when you're behind. Sometimes it's about just taking a break in general. You may have just snagged, you know, ate a bar real quick.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I just ate a bar. But day one, dude, I was day one back. I was grinding in there. I was doing the whole like dip on the edge of my station to like decompress my back. Like I was doing one of those. But
on the chair.
Yeah, I mean, eventually I was just like, hey man, you keep taking your lunch, man. I'll keep cutting. It's all good. I'm not mad at you. Like, and you know, so you know, when you ask how many days I worked, I was like, you know, I don't have to work 7 days a week and cut 20 heads a day to make ends meet. Like,
yeah.
I have that luxury. Like some barbers don't. Like, and like we said, if you're walking every day, it's different, you know. Like you were telling me you work 7 days a week, right? So I think you know that breaks up the day a little easier if you just mark off a little bit for yourself.
I mean, I understand that. Like, I mean, I've only been cutting hair for 2 years, so I might change it as the years go by, but I don't see. I mean, if you're not doing nothing, I mean, and you don't, maybe it's because I like barbering or cutting hair too much. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't really.
I'm in love with this
Yeah,
game, man.
like I don't really mind cutting 1 or 2 heads like on my off day. Like that's like an hour and a half tops maybe out of your day. I mean that's a quick. I mean I charge $6.75 on my off day cut, so that's like a what 150.
Yeah.
150, well, you know, yeah, 150, almost 150 for 2 haircuts. So I mean,
I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
I'll take it for sure.
Yeah, dude, it's just like everything's super situational. Everyone's like, "Oh, if you do this, it's that." And it's like, no, dude. There's so many layers to the onion, man. Like, there's a reason for everything sometimes, and yeah, it's all crazy. So yeah, there's like I gotta stay hydrated. I'm like that. I do. I'm pounding water at the end of every client when I'm saying, "Hey, Trevor, I'm ready for you." I'm drinking a water. I'm saying that. So yeah, this is all very situational, man. Yeah. See, how many years you been cutting? I'm like, all right, we're done with that.
He said, "Let me stop."
Let me stop, man. So,
how many years have you been cutting?
So this is year 5.
5. Okay.
I'm 5 years in. How old are you, Jordan?
I'm 24.
24.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about you're the youngest guest I've ever had on.
Really?
So that's cool because it's hard, especially getting younger barbers to like commit to being, putting themselves out there like you are right now on this.
Yeah.
So most barbers are introverted in general. So it's,
I'm very introverted, but I had to
it.
break out of that, man. It was a hard. If you'd asked me to do this a year ago, gosh, bro, I'd be sweating. Oh my, I would be sweating right now. I'd be shaking as like because I'm not a. I mean, I turned myself into a. I'm not gonna say I'm not a people's person because I am, but it just takes me a while to open up and be comfortable. But now I feel more comfortable now just jumping in, and I mean I've been doing the podcast for a year now, so that's really helped out a whole bunch. So
yeah, man, and I'm sure I don't know how it went down, but I'm sure when Craig or AMI approached you, they were kind of like had the similar thinking. Like it would be great to get a younger barber's perspective on here.
Yeah, that's what Craig. He was like, "I really want you out here," because at first I was like, "I don't know, bro. I don't feel like I want to do this." And he was like, "Bro, I'm telling you," he said, like a lot of people want to know like what it feels like, especially being a first year barber. You can bring that experience and what it feels like because you literally can relate. You're all in the same kind of time frame, so it helped out a lot, and I'm glad I did it. I'm definitely glad I did it. And I met a lot of great people. I met you. I mean, it's a definitely beneficial thing that's happened for me for my life.
Yeah, dude, it matures you fast because it gives you a different perspective, and then you having good mentors like them, like kind of help out a ton too. They're always dropping gems on. I'm sure sometimes it's kind of like it feels like they're preaching to you a little bit.
Yeah,
but it's like they're telling you that just because they want to help.
And they've been through it before. So
and they want to put that in your memory bank, whether you agree with it or not. Like it's in there somewhere, and you'll remember it, whether you're aware of it or not. Whenever it comes to play.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, man. Yeah, I've been watching you guys on there. It's cool. Yeah, sometimes they gotta be like, Jordan, what do you think about that? Like.
And sometimes that'd be catching me off guard, bro, because I've been really listening.
You're like, okay, we're transitioning to the next topic. Jordan, what do you think? You're like, oh shit.
I'm like, oh yeah, let me because I don't know, because sometimes I'll be so locked in on the person talking, I don't got time to refrain like what they just said.
Yeah,
for me to give my own personal opinion
real quick.
So I'm just like, I'll try to say something that but. Sometimes I can kind of I try to keep myself involved as much as I can so they don't have to randomly just come to me but yeah, Jordan, what do you think about that? I'm like, oh, I don't know, bro. Sometimes like the last podcast he did that and I was like, like stuck, bro. I was stuck. How I did. I was like, dang.
I started watching it today because it came out a couple days ago, right? The most recent one. Yeah, I was starting to watch. I didn't get to that point. So
yeah, he called on me, bro, and I just went completely silent. And I was like, yeah.
It happens, man. Happens to the best of us, especially when you had an idea and then something else comes across, and then someone asks you something at the same time. You're like, oh, where am I?
Yeah,
where
you
am
just
I
like
right
earlier. Now? I hate that.
So yeah,
I actually remember now, but
yeah,
okay.
Of course. But so let's get into your story, man. Number one, where were you born to start?
I was born in Bristol, Tennessee. It's a small place between, well, it's Bristol, Virginia, and Tennessee. It's like right on the border between Tennessee and Virginia. It's like right on the border.
Okay, I never realized that was basically the border.
Yeah, like there's literally the street downtown. It's called State Street, and they have a line that's drawn across, and one side is Virginia side, and the other side is Tennessee side. Like literally, if you cross it like that line, it's pretty dope. So if you run from the cops, step on Virginia side, boom,
it's over.
It's like they can't cut you now. But yeah,
dude, when we moved, we broke down our U-Haul, got a flat like on the Oklahoma-Texas border, and then they like couldn't find us because like the street name changes like on the other side of the state, and I'm like, crazy. Oh man,
he's like, bro, I'm right here.
Yeah, I don't understand. But go ahead, man. My bad.
No, you're good. Yeah,
born there, came up, never moved out, never moved around.
I've been here my whole life. I never. I mean, I live in Abingdon, Virginia now, but I work in Bristol still. It's like 15 minutes away. But yeah, it's a small town, about 30,000 people. Home to country music. NASCAR. So,
are you a fan of any?
No. I went to one NASCAR race, bro, and I was like, this junk is pointless because you just see people standing up drinking beer. Like,
I don't see the point in going. Like, I could see how you could maybe get hooked on a sport like that, but just going to it is, I mean, it's just like a booze fest. That's what you're there for.
Literally, people go there just to get drunk.
Yeah. So yeah. So, how was like growing up in school? Like, was there what were your kind of interests initially? Like, what'd you think you were gonna be when you were gonna grow up? Maybe.
I really football was my
big
thing.
Sports guy.
Yeah, big sports guy. I played football, basketball, ran track, wrestled my 8th grade and freshman year.
Nice. I had a lot of wrestler friends.
Really?
And it's a grind, man. I respect it. Like cutting weight, making like everyone's eating lunch and you're eating like rice, like
and spitting in bottles and junk just so you can keep yourself water weight. Drop the water weight. Yeah, the wrestling was definitely the.
Well, sometimes you got like what weight were you wrestling at?
I was 180.
180. Yeah, so you definitely had to maintain that.
Yeah,
that's a tweener kind of deal, right?
Yeah, it wasn't really hard for me to keep. I really ate what I want, but we just run and stuff so much in practice. After end of practice, I'll just go away myself and I always stay the same. So it wasn't really. I didn't have to really fight to stay at that weight. It was pretty natural weight. So, but yeah, I played football. I mean, football was my best sport, and I was hoping to go play in college. I played ever since I was 5 years old. Nice. Played running back. Ended up tearing my meniscus my senior year. I was going to go to Mars Hill University and play football, but I ended up not playing and not going. Just went to straight from school to community college. Not Eastman, but I forgot what's the name of the community college I went to. I forgot.
You remember the college you went to?
No, I don't, because I dropped out.
Did they have like a sister college that kind of intersected or something that kept
Northeast State.
Okay.
Yeah, I went there for 2 semesters and then I ended up dropping out. I had the best grades I ever had in my whole education, like ever. I had straight A's and B's in college.
Funny, that episode I was watching, Craig was like, "You don't remember when you graduated barber school?"
Oh no, man.
And you were like,
"What?"
Yeah, it was like, it was 2020 or 2021.
Yeah,
2020. He was like, I don't know. And he's like, "You don't know?"
I was like, "Yeah, I started in 2021. I'm pretty sure."
Yeah, because you're in there for a while, so it gets confusing. You feel like you've been done when you started in there. It was like, no, that's why I went in. Shit.
Yeah. So technically, I went in 2020, and I got done in 2021. So because I've been cutting for 2 years. So yeah, that adds up. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think I've been telling people I've been cutting hair for 5 years for like a year and a half now, and I'm like, all right, now we're really at 5. Like,
yeah. I was just say I don't know because people ask me to, and I'm like, how many years you been cutting? I'm like,
professionally at least
2 years, maybe. That's about 2.5 now, maybe.
How do you feel when clients ask that? Because in a way they're
like seeing if they're trying to test out the waters. Yeah. I know what they're doing. They ain't slick.
Exactly. Yeah, you just play like at one point you're proud to say that number. I'm sure when it gets higher, you might be.
I ain't gonna lie, when I first got into the shop, I'll tell them I was cutting for a year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're totally throwing judgment at you, dude.
Yeah, because technically, you kind of are. Because I mean, you're in school for 4 months, and then after the 4 months, you start cutting, and you're gonna be in there for like 7 more months plus however much time you use in the shop. So I just add the time that you use in school with it. That'll be all right.
Plus, you can add time that you're like cutting the boys, like before you started.
Yeah, before
or whatever.
Yeah, but.
So yeah, but we're going back. You always play football, so you get in college, drop out.
Yeah.
Then what was next? Like, what were some of your like work history and things like that?
I worked at Food City was my first job, so I worked there for 4 years. And
you stayed for 4 years. I like
4 years. Yeah, 4 years.
I was always a guy too. I would kind of stick with one job. Like I knew immediately if I didn't like the job, I would bounce. But like when you find something that's it's easy to settle too, but
I knew the store owner. He was pretty cool, but I mean the job wasn't bad. I was making like $9.25 an hour. I mean I was a bagger.
What did you do there, bagger? Okay.
Yeah, I was a bagger, and then for 2 years, and then they asked me to be a night stalker, and that was like during like the beginning of COVID. The worst thing I've ever done in my life, bro. That was horrible. You come in that night, the whole store was completely empty. It'd take almost 14 hours to complete the whole store.
Holy moly.
It was like that for at least 4 or 5 months. And I was
remember the toilet paper craze?
Yeah, bro. This junk was so bad. And I was responsible for the toilet paper and all that stuff. And
damn.
This junk sucked. But I mean, they said I was gonna be making $10 an hour, but I was still making $9.50. And I was like, well, this junk, I was like, nah, I'm gonna have to go. And ended up going and leaving to go work at a factory called Royal Moldings, and I was there for about 7 months, 12-hour shifts. I think I made like $14 an hour, 15 maybe. I think somewhere around there.
12 hours. That's a lot to work for that too.
It was 4 days on, 3 days off type stuff.
I'm sure it was like a big, you're making more money than ever.
Yeah, I was making pretty good money, but it was horrible, absolutely horrible, and I was not happy.
Body or just what were you doing in there exactly? What was
they make like side? That's like side. What's the thing? Like side things for the houses. I can't remember what they're called.
Siding.
Yeah, siding and like the things for walls on the bottom that you put on the walls. I can't remember what they're called either.
Oh, like trim and things like that.
Stuff, yeah. So we get there's like 13. So you're at one station, but there's like 5 or 6 different machines going at one time. Okay. And they stack, like they cut off and they cut pieces of wood off, and you have to stack them and put them into certain arrangements. And I mean, it wasn't very hard, but when you got back, let's say you had to go take a lunch, and this was a job that I really needed my lunch because this is different. This is different. You're like, oh, heck,
plus you get paid for that lunch.
Yeah, so I took my lunch, and the people that are supposed to the people that work on the machines are supposed to keep the everything going while you're gone, but they never did. And I came back, and there'd be freaking wood all over the floor. Some of the machines would be broke, like because they would get stacked on top of each other, and they would start like going up in the air, like the wood, it would like be up in the air and junk. And I was like, I had to go over there and break it and all types of stuff.
It's just scary too, dude.
Yeah, bro. Because you had to put your hand in there and there's be blades, and I was like, nah, I'm good. But
too many of those nasty ass videos pop up on my IG sometimes with some like dude in China in a factory getting like just
I seen one with I seen when this dude he was wearing he was wearing a coat or a long shirt or something, or he had long hair, and a
They get
machine.
pulled in.
Yeah, bro. And I was like, bro, that jump looks so gosh. I was like, God.
Yeah,
But
and like you see that and you work there, it's like, man, maybe I need to
find another
reconsider.
job. Yeah. But
So when did barbering kind of just like, did you always have it deep down a like kind of general interest for it?
So the thing with my family is I have a very my family is very talented, very very talented. They was good at a lot of stuff. They was very good at sports. My family is like a well known sports family. Um,
Cool.
I have like at least I know my mom. My mom did hair. My older brother did hair. My stepdad did hair. My uncle Casey did. I mean, he cut hair. They all like. So I've watched it growing up a lot. Like people cutting hair in my family, and I never really thought about it.
But they never did it professionally. They were
Nah, they
just kind
never
of just
got their license or anything, but they were really
okay.
good. Like my brother right now, he's really good. He's 30 years. He just turned 30.
Mhm.
He's been cutting ever since he was 18. I was the first one he ever cut, and
There
he
you
was.
go,
I
big
mean, he was
bro cutting hair.
yeah, cut hair, yeah, and he was out here doing stars in people's head at like 19.
Yeah,
He was good, bro. Like, but he cut my ear so many times. I used to hate him cut my hair, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah, just seeing him and.
He just got the zero gap, the one,
The peanuts, bro. He had them
Oh, the
peanuts.
peanuts. Okay,
Oh
yeah,
gosh, them things were clean though, bro. He got me crispy.
it works out.
But yeah, just watching him over the years, I liked drawing and I like art in general. So I felt like I always knew I wanted to be, if I was gonna do something besides football, I wanted it to be something artistic. I wanted to be something that I could show my art, something like I could just show my personality, but I didn't know that barbering was one of the outlets that I could take. And after working at Royal Motors for 7 months, I was always talking, I was like, man, I might just go to barber school. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go to barber school. So I ended up leaving Royal Motors, and I got a job at Zaxby's with my one of my clients that is now the manager there was one of my clients now. Um, he said he was like, you could just come in after school when you get done. You don't have to really rush. I understand you're in school and you try to do stuff. Try to do better. So I'm gonna give you like maybe I worked like 32 hours a week. Um,
Nice.
so I mean, as soon as I got out of school, barber school, went straight to work and almost every day. I think I was maybe off like 1 or 2 days a week. But yeah, just that's and
What was your day like? So you get to barber school at what time?
get there at like 8:30.
8:30. Get out
At
when
like 4:30.
4:30.
Yeah,
You hit Zaxby's.
straight to
Dude,
Zaxby's.
so I'm not familiar with Zaxby's. I'm from a little further northeast, and I lived out west for a while too, and then moved back east. But I've never been to a Zaxby's. But there's something called Raising Cane's out in Arizona, and there's this sauce. It's all about the sauce there. And
Yeah.
a client told me the other day, it was like the Zaxby sauce. And I'm like, oh, they got sauce. It's like the same thing. So
Yeah,
they
they
got
got
sauce. What is that?
yeah, they got they got like I know there's tongue torch, there's like Zaxby sauce, there's
What's
spicy
Zaxby
Zax
sauce?
sauce.
Is it like orange?
Yeah, orange is like I think it's like
Little,
mayonnaise and something like I think it's like mayonnaise and something else mixed in
little
together.
tangy, but
Yeah,
almost
it's like
sweet.
sweet, kind of sweet slash hot. And then there's
Okay,
a
yeah, that's
spicy Zax
perfect.
sauce, and then
Yeah,
there's a honey
that's the cane
mustard, there's a
sauce,
spicy
man.
honey mustard. Like all the sauces are fire. Like Zaxby's is a top tier fast food. I'm telling you right now, it's so
Okay.
fire. The
Yeah, I
whole
gotta
time I
try
was
out some
there.
Zaxby's. It's funny you said Food City too, because I haven't heard of that since Arizona.
Oh, does Arizona have Food City?
Yeah, yeah, man.
Did it
Big Food
really?
City.
I thought that
Area.
was only like a Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia thing.
Yeah, like a grocery. It's got blue letters.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Food City. There's a ton out there,
Huh, I didn't
and
know
they
that.
carry a lot of like Hispanic stuff too, which
Mhm.
is a huge the Latino like culture out there is huge.
Yeah.
So that I always view that as like that's where you get the good Mexican shit. Like that's where you get the cheese. That's where you get the tortillas. Like so I didn't know it was like outside of there. So that's funny.
I
You
didn't
said
know.
that.
I didn't know. I thought it was only in Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia. That's the only three. I guess unless they're starting to expand way more than I thought. So, which is, I mean, that's dope though.
Yeah. So okay. So you worked at Zaxby's while you're getting through school. So when you were in school, like what was kind of the structure like? Like you were cutting the public every day, they would come in.
So we'd when I get there, obviously you have class for an hour for about
So you came in and started with an hour of class.
yeah started
Okay.
with hour class.
That would be like our lunch. We'd like stop and then you would like, go over chapters or take a
Yeah,
test from the book that you need to take, or you could
yeah,
kind of get lunch and do that at the same time. Or it was kind of like loose at a certain point. Like they like would give you structure in the beginning, and then once they had enough students that were like kind of all like along a little bit, then they would
yeah,
kind of just let us, take our tests we need to take and things like that. Because
yeah. That's
you
kind of
have to
how it
take them
was.
all before you graduate. It was
Yeah,
the Milady. Were you guys in the Milady?
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. We I think we would start class at 8:45, be done around 9:30, 9:45, then come straight out. If you got appointments, your appointment may be waiting there. People walk in, so whoever's there. If not, we're just studying in the book, watching videos, working on your mannequin.
Right.
Other than that, we was pretty much chilling. Chilling and
Yeah.
work that we needed to work on. So
Yeah, you still get a little feel of barber culture
yeah,
too.
which is cool. Which I like that a lot. I thought it
Yeah,
was more gonna be like school, which I hated school,
exactly.
and I was like, dang, bro, this is gonna suck. But I enjoyed uh. I enjoyed barber school a lot, actually. Like I
You
really
got a
got
special bond with those guys in there that like
yeah.
you have
Everybody,
with no
you
one.
walk in
Like,
there, everybody's like, yeah, he said everybody calls me a star now. I don't like being called a star. I'm just a regular dude that's like cutting hair, bro. That's
I
all
just
it
can't. Just like I was just
is.
trying to figure out a way to introduce you, and I just said the young star.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That's funny.
But it's just because I'm a hometown dude, and we don't really have a lot of barbers where we're from, so it's
That's
easy to
great, man.
stand out. Yeah. So, but
That's another thing too with like people arguing about sweets. It's like, if you're in a smaller town and you're like kind of dominating the town, it makes total sense no matter how far along you are. Like,
yeah, that's what I was really wanting to do a suite as soon as I got out of barber school, but I'm glad I didn't do that. And
no,
I just
yeah.
went to the shop and for 2 years.
When you
So
get out of school, it's all about just building confidence for
yeah,
me. Like compare confidence wise, dude. I was just like, man, like waking up every day, I'd be like, oh my God, I got so and so to start the day. I got or when I really started, it was walk-ins only. So I had no idea. So I'm
yeah.
going in just like, who's coming? That guy, I'm about to cut this guy. He
He's
walks
like,
up to the
gosh, you
door
see
and turns
somebody with
left
hair
to go to
long
the
in,
post
he's like,
office. You're like,
gosh.
ah, God. But so yeah, talk about kind of getting out of school and starting work. And now did you kind of okay, we won't bring that up because sometimes barbers kind of demo the spot they're gonna work before they officially have their license a
Mhm.
little bit. Some shops will do that, some
No,
won't.
what you talking about? Like what? Let you work in it before?
Yeah,
Uh, yes, I will. I mean, I don't care to talk about it.
yeah.
I worked in.
I'll say about them. I'm like, if they maybe, oh
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
go for it, man.
No, that's all good.
All good.
I won't. I won't mention the shop.
Yeah,
To tell
there
you, the
you
shop I went to.
Oh,
Uh,
was this ain't your shop now?
no.
Okay.
But, yeah, well, yes, it is actually.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
but I'm about to leave in a week, so technically no.
Yeah, man. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, start with yeah. So how was that like transition out of school into the shop?
Um, okay, so me when I was in school, I really took a lot of pride in getting my clientele because I knew it was going to be harder for me if I didn't do that. Like if I didn't try to push myself out while I'm in school, because it kind of I feel like it was easier for you to get people in and not feel like pressured to do
Yeah.
so good because they're like, yeah, he's in school. I'm gonna let him try to do his thing, whatever. And if he messes me up, and then it's only $8, $8 for a haircut.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of my friends, and I mean, I know a lot of people, I use that to my advantage.
That's big.
So
Small town stuff.
yeah, small town. I
Popular
feel like small
family,
town is so
popular
easy.
self.
If you're in a small town, but I understand that y'all think that you got to be in a big city to make good money or do certain things, but really
Yeah.
small towns, bro, you can take over so easy, especially if you
Cornered the
really
market.
if you really take pride in what you do, it's so easy to stand out. Like I really don't see the problem. I mean, I do want to move to a bigger city eventually, but if you gotta make it with what you got for until that happens.
You haven't seen the full potential of what you can do where you're at, and
Yeah.
it's a slow build sometimes, especially in a smaller town. But some of the prices they just build over time,
Yeah.
and you pulled them in, and now they're stuck. Now
Yeah.
they're in with you, man.
Yeah, because now
Pulled them in at $30 or something, and now it's like you keep climbing. It's like, damn, now
I didn't
I
think.
feel trapped.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, I didn't think I never thought I was gonna be able to charge. I didn't think people around here would charge or pay $45 for $50 for a haircut. Some people pay more than that. I had some people that gave me 60, 70. So it's like, I'm like, dang, I never thought that people in Bristol would pay more than $20 or $15 for a haircut. So
Yeah.
now I see, where my price ranges is in the area, which I don't think in Bristol I could probably do more than 50. I don't think.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but that's not until I start raising my prices I'll see. But
So it's what was the whole shop structure when you came in? It was chair rental?
yeah, booth rent.
Okay.
Booth rent. $600 a month. I was very
Oh,
nervous about
monthly.
that. Yeah. Well, I pay them weekly, but
yeah, most guys do it weekly. I feel.
Yeah,
like.
I pay them weekly. It's $150 a week. That's
doable.
Yeah, very doable. And I didn't think that was doable though until because I was
the
like
600 number. You said 600.
you like
huh?
scared, bro. You like oh. But he's like, nah, bro. He's like, once you get in there, I promise you. He's like, I'm telling you, like, it's not as hard as you think it is. Like, if you put the time in and the work in, it's a lot.
That's how much a suite a week is here, dude.
Yeah,
it's like
what?
four to
600 a week.
Yeah,
gosh,
400 to 600 a week, dude.
Gosh, that's crazy.
This is like Midtown Atlanta. This is like downtown.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Or not downtown, Midtown, but it's very budding area for sure.
That's crazy. But yeah, he was like, as long as you come in and put the work in, and I mean, it's $150 a week's easy. Like you make that in a day. So I was like, okay, I'll see what's up. I didn't believe it, and then in 3 days I made over $600. I was like, oh snap! Right. I was like, yeah, this is
But that's good. That's the way I always feel too. It's like you set the bar low, and then no pun. You set it low. It's and when you reach above that, you're like, oh wow, this has surpassed what I even thought I could do, especially this early.
Yeah. But it could be different for me though, because I did come out with a pretty good clientele. I wasn't booked out, but I was. I mean, some days I
had a general following.
Yeah,
already.
So it was good. But at least I would have at least 3 or 4 people, maybe a day, that I knew that I was going to cut, and the rest were walk-ins. But
and you can't bring everyone with you from school either, because they get used to that price point. So I want to ask you about like just a situation in a shop environment. Like, what situation makes you nervous in a shop, or did maybe in the beginning when you started?
A situation that makes me nervous
in a shop. Say, someone comes in looking like Jesus Christ. Say someone comes in with a kid that's like, sneezing all over the place. Like, those are 2 examples.
Let's see. I didn't mind doing kids coming in, so I wasn't really nervous about that. Long hair, I kind of knew how to do long hair when I got out, so I wasn't really nervous about that either. Women's hair, maybe women's hair, but I knew how to cut women's hair too. But they're just so picky. Women are very picky.
Sometimes their skin is so soft. It's like your clipper just like skips off their head. You're like, whoa, this thing is shit.
Gosh. But I mean, I can't really. I'm trying to think. Honestly, I can't remember any really nervous, like anything that had me like, oh dang, like, because I feel like most of the stuff I did was in school, so I feel like I didn't really feel like I was unprepared. I didn't feel like I was.
One of my problems when I started in a shop and you're slower, I hate that, like I'm so used to go.
Yeah.
Once I have that like lapse of like 3 hours or something when I'm starting off that I have nothing, I'm like, man, and then you start like getting in your head. You know what I mean? Then you start thinking about what's coming too much, especially if it was like I think I had a moment where like I'm not a huge design guy at all. Like I don't
Yeah.
claim to be at all. Like I'll do some lines, but like someone comes in like wanting something, I'm kind of like I'm a little nervous to get to it. And
Yeah.
especially if I had some momentum rolling and then I just get like smacked with a 2-hour window where I don't have nothing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man. And I'm just like dwelling on this design I'm about to do. And it's a girl and she's got like, so yeah, that was the exact situation. She had like the tie up, like wanted a little taper on her
Yeah.
nape and the design there. And I'm just like, okay, am I gonna have enough space? Like, what's her natural like lines look like there?
If their hair is dark enough to see the design,
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
people
like
get
if you do it, you're
expectations.
like, bro, I can't even see it. Like
Yeah.
at this point, I'm just hoping that it looks good. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, the feminine haircuts, like they'll come in and want it like short, but short enough, not too short, but like to lay their bangs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like if they want like the little pointed curved sideburns or
Yeah.
like crazy stuff like that, and then they'll want like a heart back here and it was like a line, and I'm like, oh gosh. But
Yeah.
but when I did get first in the shop, then I remember like my actual first day, I got a dude from North Carolina, and I was cutting his hair, and I usually take a pretty long time. Like when I first started, I was taking like an hour and a half, like because I'm a real perfectionist, and I always want everything to try to make it look good. And this dude, obviously, he did not care that I was a perfectionist. He did not care about his hair that much, and he was huffing and puffing and
Yeah.
freaking. I was like,
Puffers, man.
bro. He's like, bro, you almost done? I was like, yeah, bro, I'm almost done. I was like, I just let him get up. I was like, yeah, I'm done, bro. So I just let him go.
Yeah.
And he's looking in the mirror like I look like I messed him up, and I'm like, gosh. I was like, this I can't stand when people don't appreciate when barbers really try. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand too that you want to get up, but it's like if you really got to be somewhere, like I usually always ask too. I'm like, bro, I'm slow. If you got anything anywhere to be, just let me know and I can speed and try to be faster. And he's like, nah, bro, just whatever, take your time. And he started about like 45 minutes. Mark, bro, is freaking huffing and puffing. I was like, gosh, he's one of them. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
bro,
man.
got it.
Dude, some people are like that if they're not, even if you ain't taking long. Like it's it's like, what is your problem, dude? Like, do you realize I'm holding a straight razor to the corner of your lineup right now? What are you doing? Like, hold still, number one. But like, so your shop doesn't, as long as the booth's paid, as long as the rent's paid, you can mark off however long. There's no like repercussions in that shop.
No. Well,
like obviously they're gonna like encourage you to not be as long, but
yeah,
at the same
but
time,
I mean,
rent's paid.
really, as long as you paid, he was pretty chill.
Yeah, that's good.
But I mean, we just now started. He's starting to do contracts now. So
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that too.
yeah,
Talk about that a little bit. So when you came in, there was no contract.
no
There
contract.
typically isn't a contract in
So
most shops.
yeah,
I guess
he said he wanted the contract when he
loose.
came in, but he never actually made us do the contract.
Yeah.
So a month ago, started in July. Oh, it was like July, August, September, August. Okay, so the month before July, he really just dropped it on us. He was like, "Yeah, we're gonna have a shop meeting and talk about these new contracts." And we was like, "Okay, that's cool." And then he sat us down. He was like, "Yeah, here's just he gave us the first contract, and the first contract said it's $700 a month price, which $100, which isn't bad. I won't complain about that."
Yeah.
And he was like, "You get 10 days off." It's a key holder contract, so you get to keep a key, and you have to be here at 9:00 and be here till 6:00 every day, and you only get an hour. Well, you only get 25 hours a year to leave whenever you want, and you only get 10 days off. You only get 10 days off a year, and you have to be here 9 to 6. No matter what, and there always has to be 2 people at the shop at all times.
Was it a problem just people not showing up and just paying their rent?
Yeah,
Okay.
there was, because there would be times that when I was there and we'd have people come in, and sometimes it won't be somebody there to open the shop. Like some people get there at 9:30, some people get there at 10.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Which I
And
understood.
they do walk-ins too.
Yes. So and I was like, there could have been multiple ways he could have fixed that. Kind of, I felt like, which he didn't talk about, which it kind of felt like it was a learning curve for him as well. Which I mean, technically, it's his shop and he's the owner. He should be the one that's there to open the shop.
It kind of sucks because like those bad apples kind of ruined it for people like you that are actually grinding in there. And now you got got all these restrictions and shit now.
Yeah, so it was that contract. I mean, I felt like it wasn't. It's not for me being on my second year. I felt like it was a problem just a little bit, but I feel like if you're coming in as a new barber, I feel like that's not really that bad.
Right, you're willing to, you're a company man. You're willing to do whatever, really.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Yeah, and then he has the second contract, which is it's like basically just a regular, you can leave whenever you want type. But the thing with it, you can leave whatever you want, do whatever, but everything, like he was like, before that he was buying like the neck strips and the barber side and stuff like that. But on this one, he's like, you have to buy your own stuff, like everything, and then you can only come in during shop hours, but you can leave whenever you want. But it's $1,200 a month.
Whoa, you went up to 12 now, and he's not buying you stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, oh,
nuts.
I was like, oh, that's. I was like, dang, bro. I was like, gosh, and everybody in there was like. It was like, dang, like
he got a little taste, and he's like, you know what, I could really do.
Yeah,
like what?
And I felt like he really didn't want to give us the second contract because he was confident about the first one. He's like, yeah, so here's his first contract, whatever, and do this. And then he was like,
he was probably nervous too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He probably was nervous, and then he was like, so, and yeah, he's like, yeah, but, and I got this, this other contract, and y'all could just take a look at that. And I was like, okay. I said, let me see the other contract.
Take a look at that.
Yeah, like he didn't really.
he didn't even present it.
Contract because I feel like he wanted everybody to take the first one. And
so it was an option. Okay.
Yes.
I thought like he came with another one. Like now it's this. It's like, okay.
Yeah, so you can pick between the two, and
so if you want to just show up whenever, then you're paying a premium for that.
Yes.
Okay. That's semi-fair.
Semi-fair, but also you got to look at the area that we were in. $1,200 a month around here is a house payment.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and we was like, dang, bro, like for a spot in the shop is $1,200 a month, and I was like, that's wild. I can actually go to and get me a suite for half of that. Way less than half of that, actually.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually paying $250 a month right now for the suite I just got.
Okay.
So
before that, let's go ahead and dive into your Instagram real quick. Give these people a taste of kind of what you're doing. Thanks. So J Bob, I should have had you put that up. I didn't even catch that till we like half an hour.
I was wondering how'd you put it on there like that. I was wondering.
So that little like subtitle part was
okay.
Gotcha. Okay, so my bad. I didn't catch that right out of the gate.
Okay.
So you got some fresh cuts here. This is just the other day. Some clean work. Make sure I mute this. Okay, so yeah, this shit will get ripped down.
I know.
Little tutorial action. Those are always hard to shoot, dude. A little tutorial.
Yeah, bro, because you try to get the right. I got the little chest thing that I bought from Amazon. You wear it on your chest, put your phone on it.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Moves.
Dude, I was like holding my phone when I did one of those.
Yeah.
I've only done one of those, one or two. And yeah, it's easier said than done for sure.
Yeah, especially if you want a certain angle and stuff like that. And I'm like, dang, bro, this freaking sucks. And I see other people on Instagram, they look perfect. I'm like, well, how y'all do that like that? I'm like, I don't understand. Well, I try to get close to it.
A lot of practice and holding it still, I guess.
Yeah.
Here you got your super clean, low fade, man. I want to ask you something because you sort of just like scrolling through your IG and seeing your progression a little bit. Like, I know when I lived in PA, I kind of developed a clientele that, and it was a smaller town too. Everyone wanted a low fade. It was like the haircut. everyone wants. They want that low drop fade. And when you have the proper amount of time, especially, like, you can make it like look great, right? But it's one of the hardest haircuts you can do, honestly. Like, a lot of people can't really achieve it. So I want to ask you, what are some of your keys to a low fade? What's the key? What are some of the things you kind of prioritize in it and think it's important? Because just looking at this haircut, like, it looks like a very, like, the blend is very stretched. You know what I mean? Some people compress it and it's really tight in one area. So yeah, what do you think?
So typically it depends on what I want the fade to look like. So if they show me a picture and the low fade looks more kind of spread, and if there's also the low fade that kind of has like more darkness towards the top and it's like more weight.
Yeah.
So usually on the low fade for this one, I did a 1.5 open. And since his hair is so dark, you can take that lower guard and be able to spread the fade and still look dark. Because sometimes you fade somebody like his hair texture and you do it with like the regular 2 open.
Yeah.
And it'll still look a little.
It'll lighten them up.
Yeah, a little.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sometimes I thought it would look a little too dark. Yeah. And it'll look like, I don't know. That's just me, in my opinion. I like my fades pretty. I like them stretched out pretty much. I feel like I can do any type of fade, honestly. It just depends. Like, because for the compressed low fade, I always cut it to a 1.5 as well. But also on the top, I kind of have it cut to a 3. So just in that section of that low fade section, I'll cut it to a 1.5 open, and I'll use my half guard. Like, I have different ways of cutting, bro. Like it's just certain ways that you pick up from different barbers and watching videos and from your mistakes that you just pick up different ways of doing different hairstyles. And I have like so many different ways to fade. I don't fade the same for everybody. It's different.
Yeah. So you don't have a system. Some
no,
barbers
I really don't have a system, but I can also get it done in the same amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I sometimes I have an idea just in that haircut of how it might work out better for that particular client. And, every client's different.
Mm-hmm.
So I did so many of these, and I had like all the time I wanted to do it in PA.
Yeah.
But like here, dude, it's like, man, I'm capped off quick, and the 30-minute time slot kills me. So like I have to fight so hard to stay on time at that 30 minutes and still put out quality work, of course.
Yeah.
So like the 30-minute mark is for regular haircuts. So that's down to like a half if someone wants it. Like anything that's skin or shaver is considered a $65 haircut, a signature haircut.
Okay.
So if I don't have that, and sometimes I'm falling behind from those 30-minute pops, and which is at $50, they, stack up on me. And then by the time, a signature rolls around, I'm using that because you can't book anything. It's 45 minutes, but you can't book anything in 15 minutes. So it's an hour for that skin fade. And I'm using that 15 minutes, to get caught up more because the haircut should take me around 45 normally. But in PA, I was taking an hour, like minimum. And,
that's
mark off hour 15 for some people.
That's how I have my setup is an hour. Every appointment is an hour.
So every appointment, which, that's good when you have the booth chair rental and everything.
Yeah.
It's great because, I'm commissioned. So I'm like, I don't know. I stumbled myself into this job. That's probably the highest paying commission job you could find as a barber.
Yeah. So
like it's very situated and unique in that way. And just the prime location's great. And, I don't mind being an employee. I'm totally fine because just the type of shop it is it's great. I really don't have to lift a finger anymore, which I'm used to kind of, shouldering a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's my one of my goals is just lucking my way onto a movie set, maybe just because there's people that walk in all the time from like that industry because they shoot all these movies now in like Atlanta and Georgia and like Alabama and places like that now because it's cheaper to shoot and they can create any scene they want there kind of. So it's super cool, dude. I'm a big fan of comedy, and I don't know if you know who Neil Brennan is.
You know what TV show made me really wary of having kids? You guys ever see that show, The Nightly News?
You know Dave Chappelle, obviously, right?
Yes, I do.
They made Chappelle show together. It's like his writing buddy. And
Was he on the show as well?
yeah, he was on a couple episodes. But he mainly was like a writer and creator, and his stand-up career is kind of taken off now. He's got a pretty big special on Netflix, a couple of them. But like, I'm literally watching the guy's podcast that morning, and I'm such a fan of comedy, and I'm a fan of him too. And it's an interesting podcast because it's about mental health more. Like, he brings on other comedians to like talk about their shit and what's wrong, what they think's wrong with them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like hilarious, but it's like real. It's like good shit. And guy walks in that same morning. I'm watching the podcast. I'm like, yo, like, it was one of the first times I was like starstruck. I'm like, dude, like Bradley Cooper could have walked in the barbershop and I would have been like, leave him alone. Like, like, this guy's a star. But the fact that no one knew who that was, but he was like higher up on my list, was like nuts. Like, he showed up early and I was like, and he walked back out, and I walked up to Malcolm, our head assistant, and I'm like, Malcolm, let me get this haircut. I'm like, flip around some out of town or swap a guy out. Like, let me get this cut.
Yeah, it's like a must, bro. It's one of them.
So I couldn't get him. I was booked, and he was like, ah, man, so and so's got him, and I'm like, you know that is right. And he's like, no. I'm like, that guy made Chappelle's show. He's like, oh, see, I need to be knowing people. I'm like, yeah.
See, that's another thing about living in bigger cities, bro. You also get to meet people. Like, people like
so that's the situation, man. That's my situation. Like, that's why I'm totally fine not having to open up my suite. Or and my situation is different because I get reset my wife's job has moved us around a lot.
Yeah,
I just hit year 1 in this city in Atlanta I just hit year 1 in June. So I'm still building in a lot of ways. Like, I'm starting to get really booked now. And I'm like I said, I don't take a lunch and I'm standing up all day and I'm just cutting and cutting. Things are going pretty good. But, yeah, man, he got his cut right next to me. My guy, Miguel, got to cut him, who's actually on episode number 2. Had no idea who he was. And I told him after, he's like, yeah, I was trying to get him out as fast as I could. I'm like, dude,
dang, bro.
I would have been like, giving my guy, like, if anyone's gonna get you on a movie set, it's him. So I'm like, I would have got him my card. I gave him a little fist bump. I'm like, Neil Brennan, appreciate what you're doing, man. Give him a little fist bump. He said, hey, take it easy, man, when he left. And that's all I needed. That's all I generally need. Just like, hey, what's up? The celeb or anything. Because, they're like normal people. I'm big on that. I'm not getting a picture. But during my haircut, when he's getting his cut beside me, I'm trying to talk myself into it. I'm like, he probably wants me to get a picture with him. I'm like, no one knows who he is. He probably wants to get asked. His stardom's starting to take off. Nah, don't ask.
I was like, we were talking about that at the shop the other day. I was like, well, I don't understand why people act so crazy over celebrities when they're just regular people.
Yeah, no doubt.
But
I mean, I hold high like that is different. But like, I got the director of 2 Harry Potter movies, like the guy, and I'm like, holy shit, dude! Like, what? But yeah, it's just like they're regular people. They're cool. I tend to always get like the producers, the accountants, the location scouts, the costume designers. Those are the kind of people I normally get.
Honestly, though, those are probably some of the best people to get put on with because they're the ones that be around cool. most of the big time stars. Yeah, so
they're kind of a position I want to be in.
Yeah.
So like it's good to kind of build that network a little bit. And the problem is with them, they're hard. They're in town for like a year and then they're gone.
I said the only person. My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I said the only person that really comes into the shop that we know that is a celebrity is Steph Curry's dad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
Del Curry.
He comes in every now and then, but it's like maybe once every like one or 2 years or whatever. But I haven't got to see him yet. But the shop owner said he comes in whenever he comes in for town. When he comes by to golf, he comes to golf, and I think he said that he might try to bring Steph next time. And I'm like, that's one person.
That would be big.
Steph is my dude, bro.
Come on, we're talking like greatest of all time level type guy.
Yeah, I actually would lose my shit off of that. I ain't gonna lie to you, but
I've never got a chance to cut like a famous athlete. I actually did cut one athlete. It's just like very seldom. but he was a rookie for the Arizona Cardinals. His name's Andy Isabella. He's a receiver. He's like a punt returner too. He got cut like a year or so ago. He's hopped around now, but it's funny though because he was a second round pick. Guy's making like $1 million plus, and he looks like he's 16 years old. Like, and I'm like, and when he told me, he was really shy, really humble, really shy, kind of. And he was just like, I play for the Arizona Cardinals. I'm like, oh,
Wow.
and I'm thinking this guy's like a practice squad dude, like he's gonna get cut. And I'm like, when he left, I got his name again, and then it rung on me. I'm like, oh my god, that's that kid that I thought was like 16 when he got drafted. like this guy's a second round pick. He's making $1 million right now. Like,
That's crazy.
so yeah, that was funny because I was just kind of like, yeah, man, just keep busting your ass. You'll never know. And this guy's a stud. But yeah, man. So it's funny. Yeah, with the whole celebrity thing, no doubt. Let's pull back up your. There we go. So yeah, another low fade, low drop. Yeah, I tend to always like to stretch them, and some people don't understand client. Like, I'll tell them, the skin line is down here, but I'm gonna stretch this thing out.
Yeah,
right.
Because some people's side frame like isn't big, like they don't have a very wide side frame. So if they have like a very compact side frame, you have to go start the ball line lower so you can be able to stretch the fade.
Exactly, before the ridge.
Yeah, and sometimes
hit that
on
ridge.
that one the fade that you had up, the afro with the curly hair. That one out there. That one's actually cut to a 1 open.
Okay, yeah. So that whole thing was a 1 open up there.
Yeah, and then, I cut it to a 1.5 open first, but the blend, it was technically only a 1 open. So that way you only have two guidelines to worry about. So you make your open, and then the other half you're just gonna take it out with your half guard, and then it's done. And then you just detail and then add some little bit of. I use the
enhancements or what?
I use enhancements, but the other one, not the spray con, the
fibers.
Fibers, yeah, hair fibers. I like hair fibers a lot. I think it looks more natural.
That's the only thing I've experienced with. I've never experienced with spray enhancements, just the fibers and hairspray, things like that. But it's gone that day, you know what I mean? So you got to do the groundwork for sure underneath.
Gotta make sure the base of it's still crispy. But
that's a key to like a low fade too. Just like making sure that C cup's able to be lined up and make sure that hook's right, and then that kind of makes the low fade pop for sure. Making sure that's dark enough. So yeah, I was getting in your natural habitat there a little bit. Man's getting it in, working close to 7 days a week, and there he is on the pod.
Dang, I look chunky on there, bro.
Come on, man. Give yourself a little credit. You're doing a lot, man. You're doing a lot. So I want to talk about that a little bit. Like, you have a personal life too, right? Like, you seem like you're always working, right?
I do. I don't really do much, bro. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. I just chill. And I mean, barbering is my life. That's me. That's what I want to do. It's not like it's a burden to do. I want it to be part of my life, and it is. So, I mean,
are you ever afraid of burning out? I get it in your time period.
I am.
You're 24 and you're year 2. It's grind time, 100%. I'm right there with you.
But I feel like if you fill yourself up, for your life with different alleyways because that's the thing I like about barbering. You don't have to just cut hair. So you can do like I'm doing the podcast. I teach at the school sometimes. I have different outlets instead of just cutting behind the chair all the time.
Keeps it fresh, no doubt.
Yeah, keeps it fresh. So it makes. I mean, and I'm enjoying it. So it's not like a job for me. It's not like, man, I have to go do this. It's more like, man, I'm happy to go do this. I'm ready to go do this. Like, this is what I want to do. And this is all stuff I feel like I got to take in order, because I want to be like, like Sophie Staygold. She works for Babylon. She's an educator.
I know who that is. Yes.
Yeah. Like, I want to be like an educator for a clipper company. I want to be able to travel the world and teach people how to cut hair. And like, I feel like stuff like that is so dope for me. So, but I feel like the steps that I'm taking right now is something that's necessary for me to be able to do that stuff later on. So
Yeah.
I have an end goal for me. It's not just cutting hair behind the chair for the rest of my life. Because I mean, I love cutting hair, but I don't want to do it for the rest of my life. I want to cut, but also be able to cut when I want to, but also have different outlets and stuff that I can help people learn how to cut hair and stuff like that. So it's just, I don't know, bro. It's just, I really just enjoy what I do. I don't see
The
myself.
thing about barbering, it brings more life.
Yeah, like
You're gonna get more life through barbering. It's the beauty.
So I enjoy it, bro. I really do. It's the best career I could ever ask for. I'm blessed to be even in the barber industry, to be good at it. I'm blessed to be good at it. So I mean, it's just, yeah, man. I hope not. I really don't see myself ever being burnt out from it.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, football is upon us. Football season. I'm a huge football guy. I played football growing up, and yeah, the challenge is going to be to shut my yap up and stay on time, because I'm going to be yapping about football so much, or complaining about a bet I lost, or like.
Who's your team?
I'm a big Denver Broncos fan. I've always
Broncos.
been.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird because when I first started liking football, Elway just went back to back, and my dad had a sporting apparel store, like a sneaker shoe store, and we had all the like Super Bowl merch. So that was like a big seller for him, that when they won back to back. So we had all this like excess of like Broncos merchandise. And when I first started liking it, I'm like, all right, I'm running around my Terrell Davis jersey. Like it was fun. So that was my first like team fully exposure. But where I'm from, everyone's a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, which is one of the most annoying fan bases. No disrespect if you are a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
I'm not. I
Okay.
don't even have a favorite NFL team. I'm a college guy. I like college football.
You're more of a college guy. Yeah. Like that's what I said when I moved here. I'm like, I'm about to move to SEC country now, man. This is what it is.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, man. Especially they're pretty hot right now, man, with the Braves and with UGA and everything being successful. It's a good time to be here for a sports town. Yeah. And basketball, I'm a Knicks guy. So I got them and the Atlanta Hawks had a little like feud the last few years, I feel like. So definitely went to both of those games, and this year State Farm Arena, that was fun. But yeah, man, it's upon us, and it's another thing that keeps us going, just like topic of conversation. Sometimes during the dog days of winter or summer, it's kind of like you run that shit to talk about with your like regular clients, and here it comes, man. Football is back. Yeah. So life-wise, like, do you have you not in a relationship, anything like that?
No,
single guy.
I've been single since high school, bro. I've been single for 6 years.
So head's not clouded with anything. You're focused on you. That's great, man.
I'm trying to do everything right, bro. My dad's raised me right, and I'm trying to do everything right by him, and just taking the steps one step at a time. Like sometimes I think too far ahead, and then my mind gets a little overwhelmed sometimes. But that's why I take my little trips. I try to go and go do barber competitions, or met go to barber cons. Just trips in general. Like last year, I went to California. Met BarberCon, met Patty Cuts and Jay
nice.
Cut It, and all of them took some classes. I've always wanted to go to California. Went there. Went to Vince the Barber's barbershop. Got my hair cut. Met him. I mean, it was
completely different world out there, right?
It was freaking dope, bro. I was like, God, like the vibe out there is crazy. The people, like the way they dress like me, and I feel like they're willing to do more crazy stuff with their hair, which is what I love. And it's just like, I'm like, dang, bro, I wish I could live out here. But
you get a lot of flack for how you dress sometimes in your town.
No, I feel
like there's Mr. Flashy. It's like, dude, everyone's like this in LA.
Yeah.
Where'd you go in California?
Los Angeles.
LA, yeah. So
there was like
because you didn't drive there though, right?
No.
So driving there will make you hate that city.
Yeah.
Which is kind of I was like, why would anyone want to live in this shithole?
Yeah.
If you're a regular person, why would you want to live here?
Because everybody was like, bro, he said, other than like it's a good place to live, but like besides the homeless and the traffic, he said that would do it in for you, bro. Like
Yeah.
we was literally going 10 minutes down the road and it took 45 minutes to get there. And I was
Yeah,
like, bro, what the? I was like,
that's
this
what
is
it's like
free.
here. That's what it's like where I live now. So I'm really desensitized to it now. But yeah, when I had that perspective, I still was in barber school. I still wasn't done, and I was broke, and I had no money when I was there. You know what I mean? So it's a completely different feel. You feel like you're a little pissy in a way. You're just like, man, I'm in traffic. I have no money. I can't even enjoy the city properly. So yeah, I gotta go back. I went to San Francisco before I moved here, so I had a little bit more money then.
Yeah, I spent too much money down there, bro.
It was fun.
Way too much money down there.
Oh, San Fran, yeah, dude, it's nuts. Like just the rent situation. I mean, it's getting like that everywhere in these cities, dude. It's nuts.
It's starting to get up. It's kind of starting to get like that up here, like towards up this way. So, and it's like it used to be so cheap to live here, but now it's starting to get a little expensive. Like it's actually starting to get a little crazy.
Yeah, man. Good old inflation. Good old inflation. So, being 24, dude, it's just like night. Dude, when I was 24, I was worried about chasing around girls. Like I was like, single for like I've always been a relationship guy, and that was like a stretch where I was single. So I'm like, playing catch up for lost time, kind of. I'm like working. I'm always had a work ethic. Like I would work 12 hours a day and like party at night with the people I'm working with, and just like they're probably like 3 years younger than me on average. So that's like arresting my development. And I meet my wife, and then like, life kind of changed. My father passed away, and then I was able to kind of just like focus on doing the barber thing, which is what I always wanted to do the first time I dropped out of college. So it was nice, but I'm at a point now where I could kind of, things are going pretty well, and I can kind of sit back and like reflect a lot. And it's just like, it's been a crazy ride in the last like decade for me. So I'm like, I can't believe I'm here doing something, getting an opportunity to express myself artistically and just like do something I love. And like so many people never get a chance to do that in life. And it's sad, man. And
yeah, I know.
No one wants to take the leap. And so, I mean, do you ever get like, express the feeling you get when you're a barber now and you don't have to work like that typical 9 to 5 or 7 to 7 anymore? And it's just like, man, like how lucky am I, right? Like,
yeah, it's the best. Oh, like that's why we try to tell people. Like, people always ask me was like, do I like barbering, or like what makes barbering so much better than my regular job, or what's the reason why to do it? And by the end of that conversation, I haven't wanted to become a barber. Most of 9 out of 10 times I do. And they're like,
that's part of my conversation. I like telling them, do you like what you do?
Yeah, like most people don't think.
Why not? Then go do what you love, dude. What are you doing? Come on.
Because they're just thinking that people think so much about the money, bro. It's like it's not.
Yeah.
It's the money's cool. The money's
They're
cool.
afraid to take the blow.
Yeah, like
get somewhere first.
I'm like, bro, you gotta start with yourself first, and then once you're happy with what you're doing and what you're helping people, like I feel like when people have a purpose, like an actual purpose, I feel like that's what really makes people happy. Because I feel like once you take like the purpose of what you're doing is not valuable, or you're doing something you don't feel like is valuable, that's when like you start getting depressed, or you stop disliking the job that you do. So I feel like we have a purpose, we have a reason besides just cutting people's hair. We're like, we help people with depression. Like we talk to men that need somebody to talk to. Like when they come in, you'd be surprised how many people will tell us some crazy stories they probably ain't never told anybody before, just because we're sitting there cutting their hair.
It's
so
therapy,
it's like,
man.
It's crazy, bro. And I was like, that's wild. And I never really thought about that until because when I was little, I used to get my hair cut a lot, and I was like, I always wonder why barbers always try to like hold his conversations and stuff like that. But it makes sense because I mean, building a connection with your client, that's the most important thing, which than cutting hair, honestly. If your haircuts could be like a 5 out of 10, but if you got like a 10 out of 10 with your social skills and being able to connect
and
with
everything.
yeah, like you can probably charge $65 for a haircut, and people come. Not even your haircuts be even that crazy good. It's just your personality.
Yeah,
and the person you
clients are coming to you for you sometimes. Not it's not always about the fresh cut. It's about the whole experience. It's about the personality part of it. Yeah, it's the whole thing, man. And when I was working in PA, I encountered a lot of guys that worked in like a machine shop, like that factory type deal. And I always asked them, I'm like, man, are you happy? And it was like, if I get overtime, I am. It's like, dude, that's not what it's about, man.
Yeah.
Like, what's your I'm sure your family life's going great.
Yeah.
No.
My dad was like that. I mean, I feel like it's a generational thing too, because I feel like back then it was more
absolutely.
like work. And he was like, yeah, son, just get
You
you a
worked one
that makes
job
good
and you
money.
worked that forever.
Yeah,
you
he
broke
was
your
like,
ass
get
doing
something
it.
that's gonna make you good money, and where just all you do is work and die. And I was like, that is horrible. I was like, but that is horrible. I was like, gosh, I would not. I said, Dad, I'm not.
What's he like now? Like, what's he feel like? How's he feel about your
He's great.
journey and
Yeah, he's
everything?
happy that I found something that
That's all Dad wants, man.
Yeah,
All parents want.
he wanted me to be, because he was. I mean, he supported me ever since day one. He's always been there for me. And it took me a while to really decide, because I went to college for physical therapy, and then
dude, that's what I want to. That's what I wanted to be. When you're an athlete and you like sports,
you want to be in sports,
the best path to go after that.
But you don't want to go there for 4 years and like, man, I don't want to do this anymore.
I was just too dumb. I said, I was like, I can't get through the schooling of it, like, because the only path I could go to with the little school I went to, it was like an assistant physical therapist program, and you had to have a certain GPA and all these like requirements, and it was competitive. You had to get in, and I just couldn't get in. And so after that didn't happen once, I'm like, okay, now what am I doing? Like, I can't be wasting another year of not going towards something. My dad was just like, just stay in, just keep taking classes. I'm like, for what?
So, I feel like college is one of the biggest scams ever, bro.
Oh, dude, that and insurance is like the two biggest scams.
And credit scam, all understand.
Yeah, loans. Yeah.
It's all
brutal. Absolutely brutal. So yeah, man, let's go ahead and talk about, because we're going a little long. Let's go ahead and get into this sweet conversation, the sweet life of Jordan Barr, my man. So you're started, and I know you've gotten plenty of advice on this for sure.
Yeah.
So walk me through, let me get your take on just that first initial leap, when you were like, I'm doing this. Am I doing this? Or was there an apprehension, or were you always kind of knew that this was it? This is what you needed to do?
I feel like it was definitely something I always wanted to do. I just knew that I had to find. I knew that whenever it was time, I knew that it was going to be time. Like, it was like one of them feelings, like, it's like, yeah, it's got, especially with the situation where I was in with the contracts and stuff like that. It kind of accelerated it a little bit. But one of my clients is one of my close friends, and he buys businesses and buildings, and he was talking. He's like, yeah, bro. He said, I mean, we should go in business together, whatever, make a shop or, do something. He's like, I'll give you the money and you just run it or whatever you want to do. And I was like, okay, cool. Maybe we can go with that. And, we stayed in contact, and he got a building, and pretty cheap. And he's doing all the, getting everything fixed up. And I'm just giving him ideas, just throwing in my opinion here and there, and just giving him ideas of how it should look and the way it should be set up and everything like that. Got like 6 rooms in it, six or 7 rooms, and then there's a big downstairs we're going to turn to a barbershop. So the top level is going to be like personal suites, and then the bottom is going to be an actual regular barbershop. And then
so you're going to have some say so, and just like how
I feel like we're kind of
part.
I guess we could kind of say he's kind of new to it too, towards the barber side. So, because he's actually a barber too, but he hasn't got his license yet. He's actually going to get his license, but he's going to be working in there with me too. But he gave me the say so on pretty much like on just how it looks, because I feel like he feels like I just have like a good idea how a barbershop looks. And I've been in the barbershop too. He hasn't been in the barbershop, so I've been in the shop too for 2 years, and I kind of know what should and shouldn't be done, kind of, I
Yeah.
guess you could say, and how it should be ran. So it's just
So that's an extra motivation on taking that leap for
yeah,
sure. That's
yeah,
a
for sure.
side wrinkle to being in the suite.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's kind of your boy too. So you're getting maybe a little discount on the rate, maybe, or just
he's
extra.
like, bro, because at first I was looking at a little spot, and then it was like, it was nice. It was a big room, $300 a month. It was for a woman that was, she had a nice spot, and she had a
How many
couple.
square feet are we talking?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I know it was bigger than my room in here, and it's a pretty big size in here, and it was enough to
That's the
fit.
challenge with suites, because like
Yeah,
we've had some barbers leave and went through a little transition, and some of the barbers left and started their suite, and I go visit them, and I'm like, yo, this is tight. This
yeah,
is tight in here. You gotta make this work.
yeah, yeah. No, it
That's
ain't.
cool.
It's
That's
not
huge.
small, bro. It's not small. Like the room is like, I can't. I wish I would have got actual square footage of it, but it's enough to have a lounge area and a barber shop in the back, like about all the barber stuff. So
Damn. So yeah, that's a nice space for you,
yeah,
man.
so it's pretty big. I got he's always charging me $250 a month, and he was like, yeah, bro, just come here. He's like, I'll charge you $250 a month for the first 4 months, and then go up to like, he was like, we can negotiate prices later on once I get everything fixed up. He's like, maybe it won't be nowhere as much as 600. He said maybe
Yeah.
450. I was like, that's still cool. And I was
At the
like,
max when it
yeah.
gets there.
And I was like, that's cool. That's perfectly fine. I was like, I know you still trying to like. He's I don't want to rip people off and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, honestly, business is business, and as long as you make the shop look nice and you get it ready the way you want it to look, then
Yeah.
I don't mind paying like a good. I mean, it's business. You got to make your money too. It's not. I know you want to be nice
Yeah.
and stuff, but I was like, yeah, I'll get people in here. I'll help you bring in business or
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
Make sure you're compensated for that knowledge you're lending
yeah,
too, and don't settle for just being in the suite and doing your thing, even though it gets comfortable. And who am I to judge or say do different? But you could probably finagle your way, get some more responsibilities in there, and
yeah,
even go
which I was
higher.
thinking about doing. Yeah, I was thinking because I was the one that told him about turning the bottom part into a barbershop, anyways. And he said I can just pay for the space downstairs, and I can add the chairs, like the people I bring in. That's all gonna be mine, like my income. So I just paying for the
Oh,
spot.
really?
Yeah,
So like the barbers he'd make money off of rent wise, you would also make
I'd
money off
make the
of
money
them?
off of that. Yeah, and
Oh,
then
you
I'll
would
pay
make
him.
the whole. And then
He's like,
okay.
yeah, so it'd be. I think he's gonna pay me like he's like I'll charge you like $750 for downstairs, and once I get it finished, you
Oh, okay.
whatever, and then I'll bring in like I could probably fit like probably five barbers down there. So
Dude, you could dude, we're talking like quadrupling your income for the same price as that like bullshit contract the old guy
yeah,
tried to give you, right?
yeah, yeah.
$1,200 and
Yeah,
you're
and I was like,
making it,
it
dude.
wasn't really against him, nothing against him. I was like, it was just common sense. Why would I not take this opportunity?
Yeah,
I was like, if anybody else gave us the opportunity, they'd be like, bro, why you be dumb as hell not to
yeah.
take it? Like I was like, yeah, I gotta take it. I mean, I was like,
Back
yeah,
to the whole situation. And then people are listening to Chris Bosio saying, I don't think it's wise in your first year or two to jump into a suite. You haven't really earned your name. You haven't like developed the clientele. I was just like, can he not preface this with at least everything's situational? Like, I
yeah,
get his perspective for sure. And then back to like everyone's got a motive, man. And they own barbershops everywhere,
yeah,
him and Marv. So like, they're obviously not going to preach not being in a shop. And, I'm
yeah.
sure they, even with this trend right now, because it's a pretty big trend, the sweet life, I'm sure they had to make adjustments in their booth rent or what they offered to their barbers and everything like that. So,
I just say I'm sure it's not. I will say the sweet life's probably not for everybody.
no.
Because you
And one thing
definitely
reason why I haven't is like you have to hold yourself accountable. And I'm like, I have to hold more other people accountable in my life.
yeah,
So it's like sometimes I just like not having that responsibility because it's a big leap, man. There's a lot that goes into it.
yeah. There's
You
a lot
know,
I've been learning, bro. It's a lot.
yeah,
It's a little overwhelming, but at the same time, it's something that you have to do because if not, because everybody's telling me, it's like, bro, once you do it, you're on your own. I'm like, you know what? I'm perfectly fine with that because I trust in myself. I believe in myself, and the only way you're gonna figure it out is if you do it. So,
No doubt, man. Yeah, for me, I'm just like protecting myself from myself because I know I could get like too like
Yeah.
loot. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the thing is, it's like, you know what? I've already made what I was making today or at the old shop. I already made that today. You know, I'm done today. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna block off the rest of my day. Or like when in essence you could be tripling what you were making before if you just like put even just a little extra effort.
Yeah.
And I'd probably put on like 15 pounds because that whole not taking a lunch thing I'd maybe change. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I'm back from this vacation. I'm on lean and mean right now, and I'm on the diet. I'm on the treadmill every morning and everything. Yeah,
See,
what's your? I want to get into your routine every day. So walk me through your every day, and just when you wake up and
my
like
routine.
you said you're a late sleeper, so
Yeah,
are you
so,
one of these
okay.
that like wake up and go straight into like whatever you're
Usually
doing?
I try to wake up. Okay, so I'm going at 10. So usually I try to wake up at around like 8:30. Sometimes if not 8:30, then 9. I'll go in and take like a little quick shower. I have my outfit set out for the day before.
Yeah, you're like my wife. She wakes up an hour before she's got to be anywhere. I'm like, babe, we live in this city. You can't operate like that.
Yeah, I said now
anymore.
probably if that's different situation for y'all because if I did that down
Yeah.
there, I'll probably be late. It don't matter.
Yeah.
You probably have to wake up. You probably have to be gone probably an hour before you're supposed to be there, right?
Minimum, yeah. No, I mean it's not always. We only live 25 minutes out from the city, so
Okay.
And like we live like under 20 probably from downtown Atlanta, but it's all dependent on traffic and how many people ruined it for everyone. Like 10 minutes if you're like 10 minutes later and the traffic development is paramount. So I'm telling her, babe, we're 10 minutes late, which means we're going to be even more late now with how this goes. If we were just 10 minutes early, we would have missed everything.
That's crazy. See, I don't know if I'd have to really be strict if I lived in a bigger city. Then I knew that for sure. But I mean, the traffic down here is not bad, so I can get there. I can get to the shop in 15 minutes, like easy. So that's
nice. That's perfect. Yeah, I miss being like 10 minutes away. My first 2 shops I worked in, I'm 10 minutes away, and yeah, I definitely miss that sometimes. But then I appreciate the drive now I have to make every day. Just I get to think more. I get to like, strategize for this podcast. I can just like do a talk path. I'm like talking to myself in the car. Like I look like a maniac in the car probably. And I get to listen to more podcasts. So before I like couldn't listen to anything because I'm a big sports betting fan. I'm a big sports guy and I nerd out the sports betting. So I'm like, I listen to Vegas radio every morning. I treat sports betting like the stock market. Like the market's open on Monday morning. You got to get to it before these numbers hop all over the place. And
so what do you mostly bet on? Like what sport?
Football is bread and butter for sure. Basketball is the devil. Basketball is like my golden rule is like not bet on basketball. I get reeled in playoffs every year.
Especially college basketball. College basketball.
Oh, dude, you can't trust these kids,
you can't trust
man.
it at all.
You don't know what they did the night before.
The only thing I really bet on is UFC and boxing.
See, I love boxing. Did you watch that fight last night?
Yeah, I did. I watched both of them.
We had like a barber party set up for it, and like no one could go. And my friend was in town. We went to that soccer game, so I was like, I'm gonna miss it. It looked like it was a good fight though. Like it went on pretty long and TKO.
Yeah,
Crawford looked pretty nice, man. He looked pretty polished.
Bro, he beat the hell out of.
Yeah, dude.
He
handled that pretty easily. In the presser, I think he said like he took a shot in the first couple rounds. He's like, "Wow, this is it." Like, oh boy, it's a long night for my guys.
He knocked him in the second round, man. Knocked him down. I was like, "Dang."
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Supposed to be the fight of the century, and I was like, "Good."
Yeah, man. He's polished, man. He's a good boxer. He's just like well-rounded for sure. But football is the bread and butter, and I get you got to be really contrarian. Dude, I want to add like a sports betting segment on this, on like my predictions for the week and then kind of review them the next week. But the whole problem with that is every guest is not a sports fan, and it's going to be hard to incorporate that.
That'd be kind of.
It'd be more for me and like the audience more. It wouldn't be for the guests, but I like to make the pod about the guests more because they took the time to get on here. It's like, man, why is this guy talking about sports betting now? What the hell's going on?
I thought it was talking about Barber, man.
I was like, well, Barr, this is what we talk about in the shop. So there you go. Yeah, I'm excited for football season. So I'll ask you one more question. What are your industry bones to pick? Got any gripes in the barber industry? Any bones that really bother you? From top to bottom, anything?
I feel like a lot of people get mad about the fact that barbers take their time. Like the ones that want to take their time and
that's a big topic that Barb's talking about too.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's like, you could take 30 minutes, and all it is, he's trying to sell his system.
Yeah,
to get you to walk into whatever it is he's selling.
Yeah, and he's like, bro, he said, why do barbers take an hour and charge and pay $50 when you can go and do 30-minute haircuts and charge $35 and make $10 more? I'm like, so what? I'm like, bro, you don't.
Like that, and then you're stressed out at the end of the day. Yeah, like it's not all about making more money. It's about the balance of just being like keeping your head above water sometimes. Like,
not driving yourself completely insane, like while doing this. Like, if you want to take an hour and charge $50 for a haircut, then do that. Like, there shouldn't be any picky like reason why you shouldn't be able to do that. If you want to do that, then do that. That's you. That's what you want to do. That's not. If you want to be a very detailed barber, then be a very detailed barber. If you want to be a fast barber and get a lot of people in, to be a fast barber and get a lot of people in. That's what you want to do. It's based off what you want to do, and it shouldn't be criticized by other people. That's all. That's my opinion. That's the only thing I really got.
I'm with you, man.
That's the only thing, though. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the only thing.
Yeah, man. It's not worth stressing over. Like, just, a lot of people get into this job because they were tired of stressing at their job. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this is a very high satisfying job. Like, the job satisfaction part's huge in this industry. But my bone that I've been checking out lately, is this kind of shit that pops up on my timeline, dude. That's the
neck shaper upper or whatever.
Yeah, it's the hair guideline neckline shaving template system brought to you by Amazon. Like that's the.
Bro, they need to stop with all these self.
I'm like, I see this shit. I'm like, dude, just go to the barber. What is going on
it's
right
not.
now, dude? Well, why are you cutting your face with a toothbrush number? Like, come on, man. What is this? But yeah,
is that a trimmer? Was that a trimmer on there?
Yeah, dude. I'm like,
get to the skin, bro. It's
I
like
don't know what that was.
It's like a trimmer that cut to the one guard. That's crazy.
I'm like, get this toothbrush off your face and go to the barber. All right. It's like, cut this shit out, man. With these products. That was another negative thing about COVID. That's what. All these products are like sitting in a warehouse now that they developed for people to cut their own stuff during COVID, and now they're trying to get rid of them.
I've seen those clippers that are like beveled out like this that you're able to go around. It's supposed to give you a fade.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen somebody use
they dropped their clipper. They dropped their blade. I featured that on like episode 3 of my podcast, and it's like.
Stupid. I was like, bro, that's
like one pass, perfect fade. I'm like, okay, what do you do on the parietal ridge there? Like,
what are you gonna blend that with? He's got to be doing something, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna have like a bowl cut with the perfect fade on the bottom.
I wonder if they're like guards come with it. Like the thing's like crooked. I don't know how guard would even go on.
Oh no, I've seen a guard. There's also they had a thing with the guard that has a click lever on it. It's like one guard, and you can go from a half
the
guard
new
to
one. That's totally different thing.
Yeah, I actually think that was kind of cool.
Of that thing,
huh?
Have you looked at the price of that?
It's like $80, right?
Yeah, it's an $80 guard.
I was like, dang, bro, Jesus, for a guard, that's crazy. I was expecting like maybe $30 for it. Maybe
that was one. I was like, okay, that's kind of innovative.
Yeah,
someone could maybe get used to that, like an actual barber. It's not like the blend buddy where you're like someone's like, and just, man, I don't know about all that. but it doesn't even blend. It's not your buddy. It's not blending.
No, it's just I don't know. People. I understand some people don't care. The people that don't care about getting their haircut, I guess that's for y'all. But if you really want your haircut to look nice, go to a barber, please.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Please.
So I wanted to close out. Last question on like, what are some goals of yours, man? What's in the next 3 years? What are some of the things you want to achieve?
Some goals in the next 3 years. Open a barbershop.
So you want to open the barbershop after you do the sweep?
After I do a sweep.
So some people go the other way. They open the barbershop, realize I don't want this, and then the suite's like perfect because you don't have the overhead that you'd have.
Yeah.
The stress. Keeping barbers.
I feel like I might want both.
Yeah. And you're in the situation. It seems like you're a really good opportunity here.
I want to open up a shop and just be able to have a suite still. That's still cutting the suite, but I want to have a shop as well, like on the side. Maybe one shop. I don't know about two. Maybe just one, because I feel like two might be a little bit overloading, especially if I want to do other stuff. But
if you get to more than one, you got to start delegating tasks. You got to start having managers and like other partners. Really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one. I think so. Open up a shop. That's one.
What about life goals? Anything you want, in your personal life you want to hit on? It's not all about work, man.
Oh, I gotta lose some weight, bro.
You're gonna get older here soon, and
gotta lose some weight, bro.
Losing weight. So, did you put on weight like after you became a barber? Did you how'd that go? That's something I've always struggled with. I've always fluctuated my whole life. Like
barbering really made me because technically I don't. When I did go take a lunch, I would just go grab something to eat from McDonald's. Like I never made my food. Or, like that. Like especially now, because I think especially during COVID really ruined me. I stayed
hard on all of us.
Ordering DoorDash all the time, and I was
man.
And they're watching Netflix, watching all my anime shows.
Why am I spending $60 on DoorDash and I'm like eating?
I spend so much money on DoorDash, but it's not even funny. Like I spend at least $2.
That's one of my goals this year.
Stop ordering DoorDash
twice a month, and then that's it.
Twice. That's it. That's twice a month. That's actually. I might make one of my goals too, because I eat late at night so much.
Yeah, the Uber Eats is killing us, man. Killing us.
But yeah, lose weight. That's another one. I do got to lose some weight.
So how do you think you would go about achieving that? What's the path?
Make a better routine, especially
routine.
Yeah, I gotta go to sleep earlier so I can get
out of the shop, dude. You're gonna have a lot more freedom to kind of control your schedule.
Yeah.
So you can still wake up later. You could just maybe.
So I feel like that's another reason, a good reason for me to do the suite first.
Yeah.
I can really.
What do you want your hours to be in there? You think
they're gonna be the same?
Same?
Yeah, they're gonna be, because they were actually asking me that at the shop. It's like, you gonna change, like, gonna be closed on Saturdays? Or I was like, no, for what? Well, I haven't got nothing else to do. I'm like,
Saturdays? Come on.
Yeah, no, bro, that's where the bank is. I'm like,
close on Tuesday. That's the day you close.
That's why I was thinking about closing.
Monday's underrated, man. I work Monday. I work tomorrow. I'm the only one working in the shop tomorrow, dude. It's nuts. We got like 7 barbers. I'm the only one working tomorrow.
Is it so you think working on Monday is beneficial?
Absolutely. Especially with like a working crowd. We get a lot of business guys. They got these Zoom meetings. They got conferences they're going to during the week. They want to look fresh for the week before they start it. And it seems like Tuesday, Wednesday is always the dead day.
Yeah.
Monday, it's like you had a day off. People know everything's off. Monday, it's almost a surprise when they find out barber's open on Monday. They're like, "Oh snap, you're open Monday!" Like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah,
I might add Monday on there. I might swap out one of the days, like Tuesday for Monday.
The hard part is you can't string together like 2 days off in a row, like a Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, that's true. But honestly, I'm never really off 2 days in a week. I'm always off one day a week.
I feel like Tuesday in general in the industry has got to be the slowest day. If people were open 7 days a week and actually studied it, Tuesday's got to be the slowest out of all of them.
Yeah, I would say that because the Tuesday was always the slowest for the shop,
Yeah.
and Wednesday too. Really,
Wednesday could be very slow too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Okay.
yeah, man.
Okay. I might mess with that.
Oh yeah.
Monday,
Man. Glad I could throw that at you. Well, Jordan, you gave me a lot of good perspectives here from a younger fella, and it seems like you're a budding star, Mr. Barr. You're really doing it, my guy.
No, I appreciate it, man.
I'm happy for you, man. It's kind of fun to watch you kind of just develop, even in the short time that I've paid attention to you on the podcast and everything. And yeah, man, you got a lot of good things coming along, and yeah, just my advice to you would just be to I know you get a lot of preaching, so here's a little more.
I like the preaching, bro. I try to make it sink into what all my stuff.
Yeah, like just stay you, man. Like don't be afraid of like being too cool. When I was 23, 24, it's like you're more worried about like getting embarrassed more than anything. And then like the older you get, the less you give a shit. Like it's just like it's kind of weird how that works. Like, you know,
no, I can see it. I could definitely see it.
Yeah.
Definitely see that.
Yeah, man. If don't be afraid to take a leap because you always got your talent. You always got your skills to fall back on that'll get you out of any jam. So go big, man. Swing the bat sometimes. Don't be afraid to just take a big swing. You never know what'll happen. You'll learn something from it either way. So yeah, man, I'm happy for you that you're doing the suite. Like it's time. You seem like you got a good opportunity meeting that guy in the building and everything. And I had no idea about that building. With the little bit I knew about you thinking about doing the suite, like I had no idea that was the situation. So
yeah, it's
really, like,
it's a little bit bigger than a suite, but
it's not even a suite. It's like a big ass room you got coming.
Yeah, I'm just getting in there, man. I'm trying to do some big things around here, especially because we don't have stuff like that around here. So I think it's definitely something that's needed, and I feel like it's gonna be it's gonna be good. I feel like it's gonna be a great thing.
Oh yeah, man. Well, we went long. We went close to 2 hours.
Is this the longest you've done?
This is the longest episode. So, no. The first episode was the longest. It was uncut, unedited, everything, and give the viewers some time to make up on, and
No, it was a good episode, bro.
Feed on a little bit. Oh snap! That's the first time in your Barber podcast history getting a call during the pod. All right, my man. Thanks a ton for coming on. Really appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate you.
Man. Go ahead and repost this on your stuff. I'll be rolling out reels all week for you, man, on this. So,
all right, man.
Let's stay in touch, and yeah, I gotta get on your guys' pod at one point too.
Yeah, for sure.
Hit me up anytime, man. We'll schedule something.
Jordan, I appreciate it.
God bless, man. Good luck, and I'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, man. I appreciate it.